Sai Ram, welcome all to our Krishna Janmashtami celebrations in our center. The Krishna Janmashtami was celebrated with a lot of fanfare and celebrations on September 7th at Prashanti Nilayam. This is our humble offering to try and emulate what Swami and Prashanti Nilayam is showing us. So, if I could say, sit back and enjoy Swami's show. That's all this is going to be about. To get to what we are planning for the day with Swami's Divine Love and Grace, we have a study circle planned which talks about Radha Bhakti and Meera Bhakti. This is in no way comparing or contrasting any of the Bhaktis. All roads lead to Rome, and there are many ways to get to Prashanti Nilayam, be take the train or take the car. This is the same way Radha Bhakti, Meera Bhakti are just but one way to get to our dear Swami. We have that, and following this presentation is what we would like to call by people from our very own center who are dear and near to all of us. We will follow it up with Krishna Ashtakam that was learnt from, once again, the Prashanti Nilayam students. So once again, this is our humble offering to emulate what Swami has taught us through his students. After Krishnashtakam, we will have our very own SSC bhajans. Stay tuned for that. They are in strong numbers. After that, we have our youth taking us through the end of the program and closing prayers. So Sai Ram, and welcome all to Swami's Krishna Janmashtami celebrations. Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. Swami describes bhakti, the path of devotion, to be the easiest path of all. It does not require any mastery of the scriptures, nor requires one to be steeped into rituals and sacrifice. Swami wants constant contemplation. That's what he describes as devotion. True devotion consists of offering all our thoughts and actions to God and yearning for His grace. Devotion has been described as the state of being inseparable from Him. True devotion transcends the limitations imposed by the daily routine and obligations in life. It should not be subject to changes in time, place, and circumstance. Love for the divine should be present in any situation. That's a tall order. Swami has himself described a few of his devotees who have actually embodied all that I just described now. Out of those, today we are going to be focusing on two of those whom he calls as devotees. Moving on to what Swami talks about, the relationship between a devotee and him, he says some look at him as the mother, some as the father, some as the closest and dearest friend, and some as the beloved, who endeavor to merge their love with the ocean of love that God is. Wherever love is evident, take it that it is God's own love. As Swami calls it, love is His property, doesn't really belong to us. So who are the two that we are focusing on today? We are focusing on two, Meera and Radha. Lipika Ahuja will be speaking to us about Meera and Meera's love for Lord Krishna. And Dr. Kumar Sundaram will be talking to us about Radha and Radha's love. I will first introduce Dr. Kumar Sundaram, as we all lovingly refer to as S.Kumar. Completed his master's and PhD program in Swami's Divine Institute. Kumar is a software consultant and has been a member of the South Bethesda Center for the past 20 years. Kumar was classically trained in Carnatic music and feels privileged to have been given an opportunity to sing at Sundaram in Chennai, and later for 10 long years in the divine presence of Swami. While in college, Kumar was chosen by Swami to play the role of Radha for a drama entitled Radha Krishna for his 60th birthday celebrations. The highlight, and it made me very jealous when I read this, I admit. For 90 long days, Swami spent 15 minutes each day with Kumar, explaining to him what happened thousands of years ago when Swami as Krishna interacted with Radha and shared with him what was going on in Radha's mind. How was Radha? How did she speak? How did she feel? I mean, it's amazing. So today, I request Brother Kumar to please take us back to what is it that Swami shared with him about Radha's love for Krishna and Radha Bhakti. Jai Sai Ram. S.Kumar, please come on.
भूमि नाम चिंतने सदानंदमु ई राध भक्ति लोकानिक शांति पर्वतम प्रभूमि नाम चिंतने सदानंदमु ई राध भक्ति लोकानिक शांति पर्वतम ई राध भक्ति लोकानिक शांति पर्वतम ई राध भक्ति लोकानिक शांति पर्वतम.
That lady that you saw there, who comes like a lady and garlands Lord Krishna, and then runs and sits in front of Swami, believe it or not, is S.Kumar.
Om Shri Sai Ram, offering my humble salutations at the Divine Lotus feet. Much has been said on the expectation of what we are going to discuss today. However, I will narrate what all is being told to me, whatever little I understood from Bhagwan's messages. We would begin with a song for this program, a song which Bhagwan has sung many times. During every Krishnashtami discourse, you would around that time, somewhere or the other, whenever he describes the devotion of the Gopikas and Radha, he sang this song. And when he sings it, it is a different feel altogether. You can really feel the devotion of Radha to Krishna through Swami. And that is the expectation which we can try to work on, but it's extremely difficult to achieve. I would begin with this song. पाट पाडुमा पाट पाडुमा कृष्णा पलुकुते लोलुको नटुल पाट पाडुमा कृष्णा पलुकु తేనెలో లోకునటుల మాటలాడు మా ముకుంద మనసు తీరగా పాట పాడు మా కృష్ణ పలుకు తేనెలో లోకునటుల మాటలాడు మా ముకుంద మనసు తీరగా వేదసారమంత తీసి నాద బ్రహ్మముగను మార్చి వేదసారమంత తీసి నాద బ్రహ్మముగను మార్చి వేణువందు తిరగబోసి వేణువందు తిరగబోసి గాన రూపముగను మార్చి గాన రూపముగను మార్చి పాట పాడు మా కృష్ణ పలుకు తేనెలో లోకునటుల మాటలాడు మా ముకుంద మనసు తీరగా పాట పాడు మా కృష్ణ పలుకు తేనెలో లోకునటుల మాటలాడు మా ముకుంద మనసు తీరగా. The meaning of the song was just right there. Gopikas and Radha are used to calling Krishna as one of those relationships like the beloved. One of them which he communicated there, like the beloved. So the easiest to think of is beloved, and that is where Bhagwan brought this relationship. And he say, they pray to Krishna saying, please play a song for us, Krishna. This basically, whatever you play flows like a sweet honey. And not only that, the essence of Vedas and all the scriptures, you are able to transform them into a beautiful melody which can go into the deep hearts of every devotee. And that is why, please play Krishna, please sing Krishna. That is the meaning of the song. And then, when this song is sung, when Bhagwan sings it, we always felt lost, as though we are in Dwapara Yuga. Next, to really come down to our level, Bhagwan communicates who is Radha and what is Radha's devotion to Lord Krishna. How does he communicate? Through this play called Radha Krishna. Initially, Bhagwan said, this actually the play which I wrote as Radha Bhakti, okay? But I want people to guess as to what this drama is all about. So I don't want to give them the secret right in front. We will call it as Radha Krishna. So, and then people will wonder what it is. And then he comes down to scene by scene in the play. That's what I'm planning to cover here. Before which Swami said, to me, are you willing to play the role of a lady? If you play the role of the lady, you're in the hostel where lots of boys are there. They're going to make fun of you. They're going to act like you, talk like you, even capture some of the dialogues like, "E raka pokalu leni Raja Chandrudu, vachuta ekkadiki, povuta ekkadiki. Agyanam andhakaram uche, atmanu marachi. Daivame భ్రాంతి అని గురితో ఇదంతా చేసే వాళ్ళకి ఇదంతా సగజమే." Because Radha's dialogue in a male voice, in a female kind of a tone, all this will be a funny thing for the boys. So you think you'll be acceptable to do this role. So when Bhagwan comes down to ask us, and we are waiting to go near Bhagwan, what else can stop us? I said, "Swami, please, I just want to do whatever you want me to do. If you do as to what I say, I can teach you songs which I composed. I can teach you how to act, how to dance. Because in this world, Radha and Krishna has been portrayed in a very commercial terms, which are not at all the communication. For Radha, the moment she chants the name of Krishna, she gets lost in thought. And that is not sadness. So when you sing Krishna, if you don't give me the sad tone of the Krishna, the moment Radha chants the name Krishna, she's automatically happy because she gets to feel Krishna right in front of her. So that's why a sound of the flute will remind her of Krishna. The blue sky will remind her of the Krishna. Even the Godavari, the river which is Yamuna, which is flowing, that sound also, maybe Krishna is hiding somewhere for, giving me darshan. So there is one little song, Indu boyina deva devudu, indendaina dagi parikshimpajujenu Nanda, because Krishna is all about playing games with Gopikas and Gopala. So he will hide and catch hold of you, peekaboo, or whatever, you can kind of call it. So those beautiful aspects Bhagavan wants to bring in the drama, and that is where he said, while going to the Yamuna, when she looks at the flowers, she thinks, I have to make a garland out of this to Lord Krishna. So anything and everything she attributes to Krishna. And finally, just Krishna Yendunna. So in that also, when I was singing Yendunna, Swami said, stop. No crying. Yendunnao elitu rao. That happiness should come. Nannitu veru. So these are the kind of expression. There are so many songs Bhagwan had taught, I think 10 to 15 songs totally. And then Swami gave the meaning of Radha. Radha, Radha ki Adhar, the basis, is Dhara. Dhara means the joy of tears of joy. Radha ki Adhar, Dhara Aradhana. Her prayers is always about crying with tears of joy for Lord Krishna. And what is the beautiful definition? Swami says, you all know English? Radha. Then Radha ki, keep circular definition of Radha. Radha ki Adharam Dhara Aradhana. What a beautiful, simple term. Next slide, please. And then Swami gives so many other scenes because we all are in the real world. So Swami wants us to go through the real world understanding of Radha. So Radha also goes to Yamuna to fetch water for her existence. When she's going, the villagers, Somanna, Ramanna, Joganna, Swami gave these names. All the villagers, they are always irritated by this divine soul called Radha. Why? Radha is always in a different world and talks something which doesn't make any sense for a real world people. So she keeps talking about, is Krishna there? Is Rama, is Krishna there or Krishna here? Is he hiding? Why is she talking like a mad woman? Why is she lost like this? We are all in the same world. We are in the same village, Repalle. And then one of the Jogana is like, he wants to play with Radha. So what he does, when she goes to the Yamuna and then takes the water, she keeps thinking of Krishna and then does a dip into the water and puts it on her head, thinking that the pot is full of water. And then she's holding and again, chanting Krishna's name and coming back. At that time, Jogana wants to play. He takes a stone and throws on the pot. And then what exactly happens? The pot breaks, obviously. And then that is the time Radha gets back her consciousness. So what happened, Krishna? What did I do wrong? Why did this break? I was chanting your name. And then Swami has got a beautiful way of bringing Narada into the scene and then tells that Jogana threw a stone at you and that is why this broke. And then he prays to Krishna. And Krishna, how can we solve this problem? In the meanwhile, what exactly happens is, when Jogana throws the stone, he gets a paralytic stroke immediately. And then she sees on the other one side the pot broken, but she sees Jogana's hand and legs are giving way. And then she's feeling so bad that how can I help? What did I do wrong? Then at that time, Narada says, Radha Mata, he says, O Divine Mother, if you take the little water which is still left in the pot and shower this on his hands and feet, then he will be able to regain his power. Then she says, Oh Narada, how, meaning there is E alpagnurarki intati pattama. I'm a small soul. Am I capable of healing this disease? Narada says, you do not know your power. The power of name of Krishna is so much in you that can give that exact pot which was broken will have the capability to heal, but only you can heal. That's what she takes it and puts it on his legs and hands and he recovers. And at that time, he's asked for forgiveness to Radha. Basically, this is a small incident of jealousy which Bhagavan communicates to all of us. At the same time, how exactly the power of the name can heal any great disease. That is the kind of marriage between devotion and jealousy can really overpower any jealousy issues or any ignorance of 6 enemies can be overcome by the devotion. And that is exactly what Bhagavan communicates through that incident. And not only that, even though coming back to the story, she comes back to the Repalle village. At that point in time, the villagers are inviting Krishna to the Repalle. And they all decide, we will keep Radha away from the village in a jail, in a prison. Because if Radha is around, Krishna is bound to talk only to her. So we also want to get a chance. We all have thought like that, right? All jealousy issues, you don't go in front, I'll go in front. When Bhagavan is coming, all jealousy issues are very common. Swami is trying to communicate from Dwapara Yuga. So that is the thing. So they decide to put her in a prison. And that is the time she was feeling, what sin have I committed to not to have darshan of Krishna? And that is when she sings, Krishna, Yendun ఏలిటు. Why don't you come here? ఏలిటు రావో నన్నిటు వేరు చేతువా దయలేదా. All these are expressions given by Bhagwan. Every word, it's not dayaleda, it's not like that. Dayaleda, ida surali pai. We all have heard Jaya Radha Jaya Madhava. Same tune Swami gave for this song. ఎందున్నావో ఏలిటు రావు దయలేదా ఈ దాసిపై. So she keeps singing. At that time, Bhagwan, meaning Krishna, is talking to all the Gopalas and Gopikas and suddenly asks, where is Radha? Then every villager is like looking into each other and then one another, and then finally they go, bring her out of the jail and bring her in front of Lord Krishna. And that's exactly what you saw, in the scene. And then she comes running and falling at the lotus feet. She immediately loses her life. Right in front, right? The best thing which has happened is Krishna asked for me and I fall at his lotus feet and he merges with Lord Krishna. At that time, what exactly happens? Lord Krishna says, from this moment, I will hold Radha in the form of a flute with me all the time so that the divine music can flow through the flute to all the devotees and she will be the symbol of devotion with me, in me all the time. And that is how Bhagwan, Lord Krishna, communicates about the devotion of Radha. At that time, to end the talk, the song which was played to you earlier, Rukmani tells Krishna, Swami, Radha chanted all the time your name, and that is how she achieved mukti at your lotus feet, right in front of all of us. We are also your family members. Right in front of us, she achieved mukti in front to you. That is why I feel like saying this, and Rukmini sings this song. With this, I'll close. Prabhu మీ నామ చింతనే సదానందము ఈ రాధ భక్తి లోకానికి శాంతి పర్వతం. ప్రభు మీ నామం మీ నామం మీ నామ చింతనే సదానందము ఈ రాధ భక్తి లోకానికి శాంతి పర్వతం. కదళి ఖర్జూరం కమ్మని చెరుకు రసం కదళి ఖర్జూరం కమ్మని చెరుకు రసం చక్కెర తేనె పండు సారవీనాలు చక్కెర తేనె పండు సారవీనాలున్నా ప్రభు మీ నామమే ఈ రాధకు మధురాహారం. ప్రభు మీ నామమే ఈ రాధకు మధురాహారం. మీ చరణ హరి హరి మీ స్మరణ మీ చరణ హరి హరి మీ స్మరణ మీ చరణ హరి హరి మీ స్మరణ అది భూషణం పరాభూషణం. ఈ రాధ భక్తి ప్రతి జీవికి ముక్తి సాధకం. ఈ రాధ భక్తి ప్రతి జీవికి ముక్తి సాధకం. ప్రభు మీ నామం మీ నామం మీ నామ చింతనే సదానందము ఈ రాధ భక్తి లోకానికి శాంతి పర్వతం. ఈ రాధ భక్తి ప్రతి జీవికి ముక్తి సాధకం. ఈ రాధ భక్తి లోకానికి శాంతి పర్వతం. Sai Ram, Swami, thank you for giving me this opportunity once again to think of you sitting in the interview room, teaching me every song word by word, me writing down in Tamil, though the lyrics were in Telugu, and the joy of recollecting this little memory, and at the same time, the power of devotion of Radha is such that we always want to practice every day, every minute, that anything we look at, we attribute it to you. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Thank you, Kumar. Thank you very, very much. In the very short time to have transported us to Prasanthi Nilayam, transported us to the time of Radha and Krishna, and brought those feelings and emotions. Swami always says, Devudu pichi paravaledu, meaning the ones who are mad after God, that madness is fine, better than all the madness in the world. It was lovely the way you took us back and gave us a little experience of what Radha's devotion was to Krishna. Now moving on, I want to ask Sister Lipika to come and have a seat. While she's doing that, let me talk a little bit about Lipika Ahuja. Graduated with a bachelor's in engineering from India and also a master's in public policy from Texas University in Austin. She works as a consultant for the federal government and specializes in health policy. Lipika first came into Swami's fold as a young adult when she joined a super energetic, devoted Delhi youth group. And there, the weekly Seva projects unfolded into a way of life where Swami's teachings and love became the central force. To such an extent that after graduating from her engineering, she started a non-profit to focus on early childhood education and also to figure out a way to decrease the school dropouts from the low-income families that were happening there at that time. She considers Swami as a constant friend, guide, and support. And Lipika also considers her two mothers. Yes, I repeat, her two mothers. One, her birth mother, and the second is her mother-in-law, as her greatest teachers. Lipika was drawn to Meera bhajans as a teenager. And so, it happens to be his will today to have Lipika here to do the presentation on Meera. Lipika, please tell us more about Meerabai. Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. Thank you so much for that intro, Shiva. My humble pranams to our Swami, and I'm eternally grateful to him for this opportunity to think like his Meera, pray like his Meera, sing like his Meera for the last few days. Like Shiva said, it is really a blessing for me, something that I bind from my very young years as I came into his fold. So I'm very grateful to him. And what I'm going to try and do is think about Meera through her bhajans. And, you know, my family, you are my Sai family. Let's all become his Meera for the next few minutes and pray to him like his Meera. Saanware rang Raachi Rana ji hoon to baandh ghungara prem ka hoon to hari ke aage nachi Saanware rang This is Meera Bhakti. This, to me, describes Meera Bhakti. She went through an unstoppable, unsatiable, unwavering yearning for her Krishna with every breath she took. So entranced in her love for her Krishna was she, for his presence, for his blessings, for his proximity, that she casually waved away even the existence of any other person in her life. In this bhajan she sang, "Aur log mari kai karasi." If I have my Krishna with me, what need do I have of anyone else in this world with me? So her devotion was a constant throughout her life, even as a very, very young girl. But her worldly existence went through a lot of ups and downs. She was born in the royal family of the Rajput Gharana, the Rathore rulers, and she lost her parents at a very young age. Her paternal aunt and her grandfather took care of her. And her grandfather was very devout himself, and he actually put her on the fold and actually first introduced her to her guru, Sant Sri Ravidas. Now, we all know that Meera was very young when, surreptitiously perhaps her mother or her aunt said to her that your life partner is none other than Krishna. And Meera had accepted that as a young girl. But Sant Ravidas actually showed Meera how to transform her admiration, her adoration for her Sai Krishna and transform it into a yearning for union with him. And so Meerabai further continued to pine for her Krishna. I do want to say that we hear a lot of fables are known about Meera's life and the trials and tribulations she had to go through because of her love for Krishna. What is also true and is not mentioned a lot is that her life, her times was around the same time when the Mughal Empire was actually taking root in India. And that was a time when already followers of Hindu religion were persecuted a lot. So I leave it to your imagination to think what she would have faced as a woman. She was married very young and lost her husband in a battle. So as a widow and as a follower of Hindu religion. So her life was full of trials and tribulations, and one might again think that she would talk about that agony. Meerabai poured all her love for Krishna in her bhajans. That's what she's synonymous with. And in her verses, in her bhajans, she doesn't talk about that agony that she had to go through at the hands of her family or the rest of the world. She talks about the agony she faced, the pining she had for meeting her Sai Krishna. The whole world could be with her or against her. She didn't care. But if her Sai Krishna was not with her, she was alone. And so she continued to write poems, initially in Marwari, and one of those bhajans is something like this. एकली खड़ी रे मीराबाई, एकली खड़ी, हाँ एकली खड़ी रे मीराबाई, एकली खड़ी, आओ तो सही गिरधर, आओ तो सरी, माधव रे मंदिर में मीराबाई एकली खड़ी, हाँ माधव रे मंदिर में मीराबाई एकली खड़ी, मोहन आओ तो सरी गिरधर, आओ माधव रे मंदिर में मीराबाई एकली खड़ी। हाँ, माधव रे मंदिर में मीराबाई एकली खड़ी। ते कहो तो सांवरो मैं मोर मुकुट बन जाऊं। ते कहे तो सांवरो मैं मोर मुकुट बन जाऊं। पैरण लागे सांवरो, पैरण लागे सांवरो, तारे मस्तक में रम जाऊं रे, हरी मोर पाख बन जाऊं ली। आओ तो सरी गिरिधर, आओ तो सरी। माधव रे मंदिर में मीराबाई एकली खड़ी। हाँ, माधव रे मंदिर में मीराबाई एकली खड़ी। हो, माधव रे मंदिर में मीराबाई एकली खड़ी। So Mirabai continued to pour her love for Krishna in her verses, in her bhajans. And as time went, the severity of the trials and the tests that she had to go through from her family also became more severe. But also her devotion, her pining, her desire to be with her Krishna also grew boundless. So she stopped waiting. She decided not to wait in her Madhav's mandir and leave her fort and take to the road. And she took a dip in the Pushkar and decided to go meet Krishna where he's supposed to be, where his abode is, the Vrindavan. And there's this very beautiful incident that's recounted about her visit to Vrindavan, where she was eager. She thought, once you get to Vrindavan, the wise men over there will know how to call upon Krishna, so he will listen to you. So she went running. She reached Vrindavan. She went to the mandir, and she wanted to enter the pandit's chambers. That was the time when it was the time for resting for the pandit. So he got a little upset with her. In fact, he got very upset with her and he reprimanded her, saying, what are you doing here? Don't you know women are not allowed in the temple? And we don't talk, we the pandits in Vrindavan, we can't talk to women. And Mirabai was shocked. She was surprised. She asked very innocently a very profound question. She said, oh, until now I thought that our Madan Gopal, Banke Bihari, Murlidhar, Giridhar Sai Krishna was the only man in Vrindavan. And all of us, we are all his gopikas. Isn't that so? I did not know that there was any other man over here other than our Krishna. And the wise man probably, perhaps for the first time, understood what Krishna Bhakti was. So Mirabai continued to search for her Krishna, still pining, agonizing, finding a way to merge with him. And from Vrindavan, she left for Dwarka. And how she merged with her Krishna is a legend and everybody knows. I want to close with her bhajan that towards the end she wrote, where from initially writing her bhajans in Marwari, she transitioned to starting to write in Braj Bhasha, which was the native common language in India at the time. Karam ki gati Nyaari, santon Karam ki gati Nyaari, santon bade bade nayan diye miragana ko, bana bana phirat udhari, santon Karam ki gati Nyaari, santon संतों करम की गति न्यारी, संतों बड़े बड़े नयन दिए मृगन को, बना बना फिरत उघारी, संतों करम की गति, करम की गति, करम की गति न्यारी, संतों।
Beautiful, Lipika. Thank you so much for taking us over. It was so beautiful to see the 3 songs that you sang and how things changed in Meera's life. Whether you're a Gopika in Vrindavan like Radha or a princess like Meera, their journeys are so similar that their focus was so much on their Lord that nothing else mattered. And even Joganath throwing the stone didn't bother her, but Joganath, the fact that he was hurting, the fact he was paralyzed is what moved Radha. Similarly, Meera did not focus on all the poison people gave her and names they called her. Her focus was only on Krishna. That is why Swami talks about Meera and Radha being his devotees, and they have the unique privilege. Nobody says Krishna Radha. People say Radhe Radhe, Radhe Krishna. Same way it is Meera ke Giridhar, almost as though Giridhar is the property of Meera. That's the right that both of them earned because of their devotion to Krishna. And that is the beauty. One wanted to be nothing but a feather that Krishna would adorn, and the other was willing to be the flute. They didn't want anything else. What a lovely examples from both Radha and Meera. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to relive this beautiful experiences for me. Thank you so much. I'll pass this on to Sita to conclude. Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Ram all. Once again, as we said in the beginning, there's no real distinction between Radha and Meera Bhakti. To that note, we have our next presentation, and we'll start with that.
एक राधा एक मीरा दोनों ने शाम को चाहा अंतर क्या दोनों की चाह में बोलो अंतर क्या दोनों की चाह में बोलो एक प्रेम दीवानी एक दरस दीवानी एक प्रेम दीवानी एक दरस दीवानी एक राधा एक मीरा दोनों ने शाम को चाहा अंतर क्या दोनों की चाह में बोलो एक प्रेम दीवानी एक दरस दीवानी राधा ने मधुबन में ढूंढा मीरा ने मन में पाया राधा जी से खो बैठी वो गोविंद मीरा हाथ दिखाया एक मुरली एक पायल एक पगली एक घायल अंतर क्या दोनों की प्रीत में बोलो अंतर क्या दोनों की प्रीत में बोलो एक सूरत लुभानी एक मूरत लुभानी एक सूरत लुभानी एक मूरत लुभानी एक प्रेम दीवानी एक दरस दीवानी मीरा के प्रभु गिरिधर नागर राधा के मन मोहन सगम पदा पधम परे मग हरि हरि रे गम गम पम पद पद तनि तरे आ मीरा के प्रभु गिरिधर नागर राधा के मन मोहन राधा नित श्रृंगार